Welcome back to the Adventure with Advantage podcast. My name is Cody, and I play Elamir on the show. Thank you for your support. We hope you enjoy listening as much as we enjoy playing.
Welcome everybody back to Adventure with Advantage, session 49. Next session, session 50. What? It's gonna be exciting.
50 soon.
Right, man. It's crazy. It's crazy we're coming on 50. All right, well, I will give the previously. So previously on the Adventure with Advantage. The party arrived in the small logging village or settlement of Greywood, on the edge of the Greenwood. There they soon learned that some human loggers had gone missing and 2 had been found dead in the woods recently, causing tensions between the humans and the elves and the settlement to rise to a boiling point. They met an elf named Caliphus, who had been sent by the Green Warden to help uncover the truth behind the killings so that the tensions would ease. Caliphus filled them in on details and asked for their aid because his hands were tied a bit due to his position and local politics at play. Caliphus sent an associate to show the party the scene where the most recent body had been found. Once there, Elamir and the rest of the party began investigating. They were able to figure out that the man was probably attacked by some large creature, then attempted to see if they could follow what remained of the tracks or find any evidence of blood in the woods. They eventually asked a squirrel if he had seen anything, and they were told there was a scary beast and pointed in a direction. The party then headed that way but couldn't find anything. They decided to head back as a storm soon rolled in. Back in Greywood, they informed Caliphus of their findings. He was perplexed as to how a beast could have killed the man because they patrol the area to keep large beasts away. Elamir then suggested it was possible someone could have turned into an animal. Caliphus informed them there were 2 elves in town who could turn into animals, into creatures, and one of them, Nalfin, had taken off work the past few days. The party then decided to send Oliver to keep an eye on the house as the party began to drink some celerin, except for Elamir. Oliver informed them that a bird appeared at Nalfin's window and he let it in. Then informed them that 2 birds flew out of Nalfin's house. Levy, who was under the effects of something, was able to allow him to climb on walls. Steelscar, who could only speak some unknown language, and Casimir, who is now essentially a satyr, head to Nalfin's house, while Elamir, who Levy cast Fly on, chased after the 2 birds who Oliver was tracking. So that is where we will pick up. So we will go with Elamir first.
Hey,
Elamir. So if you guys remember, it's dark at this point. You guys were all spending the night.
But I have dark vision.
Well, yeah, shut up. You guys were drinking. So when you started drinking your celerin, and had your odd effects take place. So you guys are splitting up at this point. Elamir is heading after Oliver and the birds, and the rest of you guys are heading toward Nalfin's house. So Elamir,
yes,
you're able to fly. You're flying toward the Greenwood?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm assuming Oliver, Levy, you're having Oliver in a spot that he could find him.
I'd probably keep him high up in the air over the spot where they descended.
Okay. You're able to. I mean, he's a big owl, so you're able to see Elamir as you just begin to float through the air toward the Greenwood. You see Oliver just kind of circling this area above the woods. Probably about as tight as he can. He's kind of a big bird, but you get the gist of where it is that he's probably indicating to you, because you cannot actually speak to Oliver, I don't believe.
Correct.
Nope.
Just Levy.
He understands you, though.
You could talk to him if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Does he understand? Does he understand
language?
Common?
Giant owl understands Common, Elvish, and Sylvian, but can't speak.
Okay. All right. Unless you have some speak with animals or something.
Yeah.
No. Looking down, do I see anything significant, or is it just tree?
It's just a single tree. No, you see the whole canopy of the Greenwood. He's flying above it. It's if you were to go down, you'd have to kind of like look around once you're below the canopy.
Okay. I will go down, and I will try to stealthily hide in a tree near the area.
Are you flying right down to where he is indicating, or are you going to kind of go a little outside of that and then move that way?
I just go right down.
Okay. Go ahead and make a stealth check for me.
The dice. Here you are. 20. Natural.
Wow. First roll of the night.
Beautiful.
All downhill from here.
You can never get better.
Yeah, you can't get better. What was your total roll?
28.
28. Okay. All right, so you...
Wait, didn't we have Pass Without a Trace on? Because he gave it to all of us before he left, I thought.
Did you? I don't remember. That was 2 weeks ago.
I did cast it. I just don't know if
I think you cast it.
He
You cast it right
but
before, or you cast it earlier in the day?
Right.
Like,
sorry.
he had cast it before he left, but doesn't that go with him, or does it affect the still?
I think it's when you initially cast it, it's a radius, but afterward, I think. Let's see.
Correct.
Is that how it works? Yeah. So as long as you're in it when you initially cast it, you have the effect. You don't have
For the duration, each creature you choose within 30 feet of you, including you, has the +10 bonus.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, well, hold on.
Because it says for the duration, so maybe you guys do need to be near me.
I'm reading it now. Veil of Shadow. For the duration, each creature you choose within 30 feet of you, including you.
It could go either way, depending on
Yeah, but it's
how
not
you
a concentration spell.
It is actually a concentration
It is?
spell.
Oh.
Yeah. Fine, pass.
And that
Here
would
we
make
go.
sense that we have to be within
Pass.
30 feet of him for it to actually apply.
I thought you don't have to though. I'm gonna look at it. Apologies. Need to be within 30 feet.
I mean, Scott, you could just make the
I mean,
choice
he
if you allow it or
rolled
not.
28, so he's probably
Yeah, I
fine.
mean, it's just more
Good.
of he would have the buff on him regardless. It's not even about for us.
yeah.
True.
But now I'm like kind of curious.
But remember what
Here
we're
we go.
gonna do.
See
so
the
we're gonna have to roll.
beneficiaries throughout the duration. It's not just such it. It benefits only those who stay within 30 feet of the caster.
Okay, fair enough. I'll take it.
Must
I mean,
remain within 30 feet of the caster to maintain benefit.
I guess it depends on where you're seeing it from. If it's like from just another DM or if it's from like an official source.
It's from Jeremy.
Hmm.
What's his face?
What is
Crawford. Jeremy Crawford, the rule designer.
I
But
mean,
it had to be fair. He had to specify because other people had the same question.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here we go. Now we know. Now we all know. Learn.
now we all
something
know without a doubt.
new.
No more. Hey, can we get away with this? Because we know
So-
that rule.
So you have 38. So you stealthily float down. Find the trees in the Greenwood very large. You're used to this. You're able to find like a tree to kind of perch up in. And I want you to go ahead and roll a perception check as you move down into the beneath the canopy.
15.
15. Okay. So as you kind of you start to kind of float through looking, and you eventually spot a very small clearing in the woods, and in that clearing you can see it looks like two figures. And at this point you feel like you've been able to move up pretty quietly without being spotted.
Nice. I also have a Mask of the Wild, if needed.
What does that let you do? Give you advantage or something?
Attempt to hide even when only lightly obscured.
Okay. All
But
right.
I guess I'd be pretty heavily obscured.
So I'd say at this point you can see the figures. They seem to be talking. You can't quite make out exactly what they're saying in the woods, but it from what you can tell, it appears to be a male elf and a female elf talking
Okay.
with one another.
This isn't a secretive meeting. This is hey, what's up?
I'll cast Find Traps, and then if I don't detect anything, I'd like to move closer to where I can hear them.
Is that a concentration spell?
It's instantaneous.
Does it have a little C next to it?
No.
No? Okay. Then I just want to make sure you didn't lose your thing, your pass without trace. Okay, let me read it real quick. Okay, so you
alarm, glyph of warding, or mechanical pit trap, but would not reveal a creaky floor board.
It also wouldn't reveal what basilisk's hiding. The only other time you cast this spell. So you cast it, and you don't detect any traps within 120 feet of you, I believe. It's within line of sight. So yeah, as far as you can tell, near around you, you don't detect any traps.
Okay. Just like to move up trees until I can hear him.
Okay. Go ahead and roll another stealth check for me.
23 plus my 10. 30.
Right. You're able to move closer.
Like a flying squirrel at this point.
Flying through the. What do you want Oliver to do? Is he just still flying up above? What do you want him to do?
I'd like them to like perch on like one of the tops of the trees up there and kind of like wait and listen for like Elamir if he needed help on anything.
So he's not trying to spy on them. You just want him.
Yeah, I don't really need him to spy on them.
Okay.
I mean, maybe just keep an eye on like the general location and make sure that if they leave, he'd be able to like figure out where they went.
He's like, understood, Commander.
Yep.
He finds a nice perch and
the
waits.
voice is back.
Okay. So as you are roll a perception check again. So you've moved decently close. You think that they still are unaware of your presence, as far as you can tell.
22.
Okay. So you begin to listen, and as you can hear them talking, and as you're closer now, you can kind of hear what they're saying. And so again, you see the male elf and the female elf. The female elf you can tell is Ulathan. It is the female elf who you guys you didn't meet her. I think you kind of met her when you came into town. She was the one in the chapel that was talking to everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
And then the male elf, you don't know who he is, but you assume it to be Nelfen, but you've never seen him in person. So the male elf just begins to speak. It's like, it's hopeless. People are already suspicious. I haven't been to work in multiple days. Can't even look at them without thinking about it. And Ulathan's like, I know, and I fear things are only going to get worse. And then he's like, what do you mean? She's like, you aren't the only one who's feeling this way. There are others who have come to me recently. I've been feeling it too. I've been having trouble looking at them without thinking about it, without feeling it. And he's like, what do you mean? She's like, he said, what do we do? And she's like, I don't know. As she just kind of like, they both kind of look defeated as they're talking. They kind of sit there in silence for a few minutes. Eventually she's like, do you want to go on a run? And he just kind of like looks at her. His head was hanging down, kind of like looks at her excitedly and is like, absolutely. As they both just turn into wolves and just dart into the woods and start running.
How much longer do I have to fly?
I'd say it's not been that long. I'd say maybe 10 minutes since you've left. 10, 15 minutes.
Oh, and it's an hour, right?
Yeah, you have an hour. You've got time.
I'd try to chase him.
Okay.
I don't know what fly speed is compared to...
what's his fly speed? Is it 60 or is it 30?
I thought it's 60. Oh, fly only lasts 10 minutes.
Oh, it only lasts 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh.
At least on the spell page it says 10 minutes.
An hour. Okay. So eventually, Elamir, you feel the effects of the fly spell begin to fade as you are up in this tree.
Guys,
Let me knowing this,
bring it back.
I'll have Oliver bring him back if he needs to.
He's like, Understood, Commander. I'll bring the friendly back.
In that case,
Eventually, Oliver flies down near you, Elamir. Just flaps onto the branch that you're on. Kind of like lowers his wing.
all right.
Ooh.
I'll
Oh my god, it just dabs.
I will accept his generous offer of a ride.
Okay. All right. You gotta climb on top of Oliver. All right. You hop onto Oliver. Gotta get a. I don't really know how exactly you'd hold on to an owl, but you find.
I mean, Oliver could just grab him in his claws or something like that and carry him.
I don't know if he's big enough to carry him in his claws.
I don't know.
Well, Oliver, how do you want him to do it? Do you want him to carry him in claws or?
No, I'd like to be on the back. Very Lord of the Rings, riding the eagles thing.
Okay.
Right into Mordor. Oh wait, no, never mind.
Okay. So you're able to climb onto Oliver, who eventually takes flight as you guys begin to fly toward the back to Greywood as Levy. Oliver's like, the friendly's on board.
Thanks, Oliver. Avoid all bogeys and report back.
It's like, will do, Commander. All right. So Oliver, Elamir, and Oliver begin to fly back toward the Greywood. The rest of you, you guys, I believe you said you wanted to go investigate Nalfin's house. Right?
Yeah, wanted to go
you
do
said-
some breaking and entering.
You had said it was somewhere up here, right?
Good old B&E.
I don't think you're sharing the map. If you could share that, Zero.
Yep.
Yeah, it's up
I
in the
did.
Green Singers quarters.
Yes, okay. Then yeah, we were headed that way before
Okay.
Last time.
So as you guys, again, so Steel Scar, you are speaking a language no one can understand, except Levy if he casts Comprehend Languages. Levy was able to walk on the walls, I believe, and then Casimir is literally half satyr on bottom, so half goat man.
And Goat Man.
Bah.
All right, so you guys are making your way up to the Nalfin's house. You
Yeah,
guys
we know where his
it
house is because Oliver was staking outside of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know.
All right, so you guys make your way to the house. Are you trying to be stealthy, or are you just walking?
What time of
Well,
night is it? I guess. Would it be weird walking around at this time of night?
It's not weird. A half goat man might be a little odd to see, and draw some attention. But no, it's not. Like time wise, I'd say it's maybe like 9ish,
Yeah.
10ish o'clock.
I would be fine just walking.
Okay. All right.
But the other guy, I guess Casimir. I'm not sure what you wanted to be doing.
Oh. Nah, I'll on for the ride.
All right, you're just gonna own it. Just walk right through town. Your little goat legs. they get like stuck in the mud. You gotta pull them out.
I figure if goats can do it, I can do it.
Okay. All right, so you guys make your way up to the Green Singers' quarters at the northern end of the Greywood. As you guys arrive, are you want to just walk right up to his house and the front door, or you want to
No, so I probably would want to enter in through the window that the bird had left from.
Okay.
So guys, I'm thinking like only one of us really needs to go in right now. Maybe I could go in. Currently, I have this amazing ability that I can climb up walls. If you guys wanted to, wait outside and protect and make sure no one's coming. If anyone's coming, just let me know. Probably, Casimir, you let me know because I probably wanted to be able to understand Steel Scar anymore.
So I can just because I speak a different language doesn't mean I can still understand common, right?
Yeah, you can understand them. That's the only one you can speak.
Okay, then I mean, if they would just tell me the plan, I'd pretty much agree to stay outside too.
Steel Scar, give me a thumbs up if you're good. Cool.
All right, so you guys are just gonna have
I
Levy
give him the thumbs up.
crawl his way in like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, the door.
Beforehand,
the
I'm
window,
going to cast invisibility on myself.
Okay, the window is cracked slightly, so you're gonna have to open it if you want to
Yeah, that's fine.
make it larger. Okay. So you go ahead and crack open the window a little more so that you can get inside. And sorry, 1 second. I gotta catch up on my notes. Okay, so you crack open the window. You are invisible and climbing a wall.
Mm-hmm.
So you enter inside. It's dimly lit. You see like only a few candles in the house. It's a small house, so you see the door, you see the window you came in from. Sorry.
Are the candles lit, or are they just like are they put out at the moment?
They are lit.
Okay. So there is some lights, so my humanitis doesn't, take over.
Yes, you can kind of make out everything. So there's it's a small 2-room house. You see there's like a living area, and then there's like a bedroom. So in the living area, just go ahead and make a perception check. Actually, see what you see in this area.
14 plus 7, 21.
Okay. So you see a small table. You see 2 chairs. You see numerous plants in the room, in the house. At least from what you can see, you can't quite see into the bedroom from where you are, but you can see the main area. The house doesn't appear to be super well kept. Where you guys know, Nalfin hasn't really left his house. That's what you'd imagine somebody who's been staying in their house for a bit. Not super tidy looking. And you see like a small like dinner area. But yeah, that's about all that you see. And you see like a small little like fire pit place where someone might be able to cook food or something.
Okay. I want to cast Speak with Plants on one of those plants in his room.
Ooh, in his room or in the...
I would say in his room.
Okay, you can head into his bedroom if you'd like.
Yeah.
Okay, so you head into the bedroom. Go ahead and make another perception check as you enter the bedroom.
18 plus 7, 25.
Okay. So you see a bed, you see a dresser. There's really not much in this room, and you see like some drawers in the dresser, and you see the bed. The bed looks a bit not made, of course, messy. Yeah.
No plants though in here?
It looks like there's maybe 1 or 2 plants in this room.
Okay. So I would like to talk to this plant.
Let me speak with plants.
Yep.
We're gonna have a riveting conversation about chlorophyll.
Mm-hmm.
You blue plants, sometimes animation giving the ability to communicate with you. Okay. So you find a small, small little, flower here in a little pot that you can ask, where were you? To interrogate the flower.
Here, I was here. I just want to know kind of what Nalfin's been up to in the last day.
Okay. So it's not like you're gonna have a conversation with this plant. It'll give you just some basic information.
Mm-hmm.
So your question was, what has he been up to in the past? Just today?
Well, it can only know for the last 24 hours, so in the last day. You can question the plants in the spells area.
Okay, past day. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're just asking what he's done in the past day.
Yeah, and I gain information on what creatures have passed, weather, and other circumstances.
Okay. Well, since it's been inside, so can't quite see the weather. But the flower basically tells you that he has spent a lot of time in his house, in the room. It tells you that he writes in his journal, and he has been trying to sleep.
Where's his journal?
And then it tells you it's in the dresser.
Cool. I'm going to go into the dresser and grab his journal.
Okay. You enter the dresser. You pull open the drawer, and you see a small book. Small, looks like some kind of plant material on the, for the covers of the book.
I'm thinking, one sec. Where's my spell list? If I cast Detect Magic, I have to drop my invisibility for it.
You're not casting Miracle?
Yeah, no. I just don't want to. I want to know if opening this would like set anything off. It's fine. I'll just open the book and try and read through it.
Okay. Just gonna go ahead and open the journal.
Yeah.
All right. Oh crap! I just opened Audacity. The Audacity.
What are we listening to?
Nothing. I
The
actually.
book starts
software.
screaming. It was written on Mandrake.
Oh gosh, that's a devious. If that actually works, writing on Mandrake paper means
Something
it
like
can
that.
scream at you.
That'd be hilarious.
Oh
All right,
my gosh.
I just sent you stuff. Since you guys always give me crap about having conversations with myself. So those are the entries you find in the journal.
Ooh, fantastic. I'll quickly copy them down into like my own notebook, and
Okay.
then I'm gonna put his note journal back into the dresser exactly where I found it, close it up,
Okay.
and then like leave.
Okay. So you go ahead and do that. And it takes probably about 5-ish, 10-ish minutes as you're sitting there writing, scribbling down what he's written into your own journal. Casimir and Steel Scar, you guys are just kind of keeping a lookout outside, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you guys go ahead and make a perception
sir.
check as you're waiting outside?
Okay. And can I include my pupper in that perception check?
Yeah, that's fine.
Brilliant.
Perception.
Are you guys
I
just
suck
standing
at
around, or
this.
are you trying to like hide?
No. So, like, for example, for Steel Scar, I want to say I'm just like walking the streets, just like maybe acting like I'm lost because I've never really traveled through here that often. So,
Okay.
trying to act non-suspicious, lost tourist.
What are you doing?
Yeah,
Casimir,
I'd
with your
be
little goat
just
legs?
lounging around personally just because I'm a little too conspicuous. But the dog would ideally just be taking
Okay.
advantage of its teleportation abilities to stay out
You
of
know-
sight.
All right, what'd you guys get on your perceptions?
I got a 19.
19. Okay.
Yes.
Well, I got an 8 because of disadvantage, but
Yes.
the dog got an 8 plus 3, 18.
Okay. I do think, wasn't it, you only had disadvantage on perceptions based on sight. If you're wanting to do it based
Yes.
on sound, you could also, I would say it's probably not.
Oh, okay. In that
Disadvantage.
case, it was a 12 plus. Yeah, it would have just been a 12.
Okay. What did the dog get? I'm sorry, I missed that.
18 total.
Okay. So you guys are sitting outside, you're watching, you see a few people walking by. You notice nothing out of the ordinary as you're sitting there watching. Just again see some people stumbling. Some people appeared maybe they had too much to drink, but people are just moving through. You do eventually hear overhead Oliver as he comes flying in with Elamir on his back.
I would probably have him land somewhere like around a corner or something like that, not in like
Okay.
the main alley. Just
You want him to runway?
yeah, just buzzes the runway. And just
Okay. All right, that's fine. So you're able to write this stuff down in your journal, Levy, and you're able to eventually. What do you want to do? Leave? Stay in? Look. for
I
everything?
definitely want to leave. I want to leave before they come back. So I don't know when they're coming back, but I want to make it so like my presence wasn't known. So
Okay.
I'd probably like put everything back how I found it, and then leave through the same window, climb down, and then like close the window slightly, like to just where it was just
Where it
barely
was.
ajar before.
Okay. All right, so you're able to do that without any problems. Make your way outside of the. Go ahead and roll. Are you still invisible?
I am still invisible.
Okay, then yeah, I would say you're probably fine.
Yeah, because I didn't break concentration there.
Okay. All right, so you're able to get out as you see Casimir and Steel Scar standing nearby with their dog, and then eventually you see Elamir. I'm assuming, Elamir, once you land, you're making your way. Where are you going? You're muted right now.
I'm trying to remember. Did I know they were going that way?
I think.
I guess
they
I
said
did.
I think
We discussed the
they
plan
said they
ahead
were
of
going
time.
there. Yeah.
We planned this out to be this way.
I would just go back to the inn and then use our device to tell them
Okay.
I'm back.
Okay. As you're like exiting Levy, you hear Elamir over the comms telling you that he's back at the tavern.
All right, cool. Then
Yeah.
I'll climb down, hide behind like a corner or something like that, drop my invisibility, and then like start walking out.
Okay.
And then find the guys, and we can head back, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make your way
Did
back.
you guys see anything when I was up there?
I just not seeing that. Since I mean,
God, no.
yeah, I just shake my head like signaling that no. I mean, we're all smart enough to know that I can understand what they're saying. They just don't understand me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd say you guys know that. All right, so you guys just make your way back to the tavern?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, you guys make your way inside. You hear Casimir's little hooves as you guys walk into the tavern. See Elamir chilling at a table, or are you going back to your room? What do you want to do?
Are you at a table?
And
Yeah, then I'd probably grab you, and we can just like sit at a table and like
Okay.
talk quietly amongst ourselves.
Nice.
Yeah.
You guys sit down at the table.
I just listen for the time being.
I mean,
So-
strictly speaking, because of our devices, we could have a whole conversation with those and not.
I mean, yeah, technically you could.
Creepily stare
What
at
if
each
we like
other.
had like fake conversations going out like auditorily, but then like in our messaging like be communicating something else?
I actually think that Steelscar would be able to still speak and understand you guys because he speaks telepathically, and when you speak telepathically, it does not matter.
What language?
What
Yeah,
language
you're
you're
transmitting intent.
Oh, that's dope. We can just talk like that.
Yeah,
I would
that's
say-
the way
You know what?
Carthus interprets that. That gives us a lot of really
No,
fun options.
Well,
No,
you
the
broke
thing is-
Celerin. Way to go.
No, Scott, the thing is, I don't think Steelscar would realize that that ring works like that, so that's why he hasn't used it.
All
To
right,
him,
fine.
so let's keep it like that.
All right. All right. So, what do you guys want to do?
So
we could
let's
sit.
out loud
I would
talk
deliver
about the
any-
weather and how crappy it is, and all of the rain and the muck that's been going on. And then internally, I kind of want to be like, all right, who wants to go first? Who wants to say like what they found? I found some stuff. Elamir, did you find anything?
Yeah, and then I would explain, for the sake of me being a terrible role player, that I saw the two figures. One assumed to be Nalfim, and then the other one was Ulathan. And they were talking about how they just can't look at people anymore. And so, not sure if they're talking about their fellow townspeople or what. And then they wolfed up and booked it.
Oh,
It's
interesting.
rather rude. People in this town aren't that ugly, are they?
They wolfed up, you said?
Yeah.
That
turned into wolves.
matches something that I found. So we broke into his house, and I found Nalfin's journal. And inside his journal, he describes that he keeps having this dream where he turns into a wolf, and then he's running through the forest, and he finds a man, and he has this strong urge to just bite this man's neck. Eventually, he gives into the urge, and he says it was like delicious, and he keeps having these urges. And he went and found Ulathan to kind of like confide in, and she's been helping him like try and control these dream urges. But he also mentioned that the man that was found dead in the woods also looked like one of the man in his dreams that he killed. And so he's kind of wondering himself if it's even a dream. And then I also pass around my like note of books so anyone can read it. So I'm just gonna post this, and so everyone has the note.
Sure. Well, our suspect looks more suspect. But do we need more?
So I think
know,
we should. I don't think we know enough right now. Because is this like someone controlling them? Because it doesn't seem like they're willingly like going out and just murdering people. It seems like something else is going on here.
Yeah, I'm also not familiar with these transformations. If how much control does the person retain?
That's true. true.
So, in a way, yes, they could be controlled just by
You
the
can
beast within them.
You can make like a nature check if you'd like to see how familiar
I
you are
would.
with.
I'd like a big fat nature
We'll
check.
just talk about the wild or the wild shape. While you guys are doing this, I'm picturing, like in Skyrim when two NPCs are having a conversation and it just doesn't make a ton of sense.
Yeah.
That's what I'm picturing your external conversation being.
Mhm.
Like, what about that weather?
Or having
So
one of
I
the Oblivion
heard the other day.
conversations.
Yeah. it doesn't make a ton of sense, but kind
Do
of.
you like cheese? I don't know. She told me yesterday she couldn't make it. How about them Red
Exactly.
Sox?
Everyone's gonna just think we're talking in code.
Or just drunk off our asses.
That's what I'm picturing. Someone just listening, like, you hearing this conversation?
I mean, of course, we would have some drinks poured out for us.
There you go.
Gosh.
Would we?
So we're gonna get cut off by the barkeep is my fear.
I rolled an 18, by the
An
way.
18. Okay. So you were wondering, right? Like how people who can wild shape. You were wondering like how much control they may have over that when they are wild shaped is what you were saying, correct? Is what you were wondering.
I guess. Did we know it was wild shape and not like a werewolf type situation?
We did because what's his name had mentioned it.
Oh, okay.
Caliphus, right?
Yeah, they could.
Caliphus.
He said that they were the only two in town who could change. And yeah, you're familiar with this, Elamir. It's not.
Forbidden.
It's more common among elves for people to be able to transform into animals. Others can do it, but it's pretty common among elves to be able to the whole nature vibe. So regarding someone in the state, what control? As far as you're aware, people who have transformed typically have good control over what they're doing. It's not like you transform and suddenly you are. It's not like polymorph where you just are that creature.
Okay.
When these people transform, they retain their mind. But you've heard, that it's possible that some people might have issues with it.
Okay. And that makes sense because they willingly went for a run, like they talked about it. So, I went into this thinking he was a werewolf, so that's my bad.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, you would be familiar with people who can wild shape.
Of course I am.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
from the Greenwood. So then I would ask, it was Caliphim is the guy's name?
Caliphus.
Calphus. A lot of fims and fisses. Do we think that we need to regroup with Caliphus or?
Yeah, we should. I think we should just bring our findings to him and let them.
He didn't want us to go more direct than this.
Yeah, we probably don't want to go more direct than this because I don't think we have enough to go on to really say, hey, these guys killed someone, because they're talking about it that it was a dream and then they're running through the woods. That's the only evidence we really have.
Right. I agree.
Okay, so you guys are wanting to speak to Caliphus?
Yeah, he might not be available now, so I don't know, because it is getting kind of late. I mean, it's probably reaching 10ish at night.
Yeah, it's kind of probably about 10.
So if we wanted
Maybe
to
like
hit him up in the early morning tomorrow, I think that might be a better decision.
Okay. So you guys want to talk to
I
Caliphus
mean,
tomorrow?
I'm all ears. What do you guys think?
Agreed.
Yeah, agreed.
And just thumbs up.
Steelscar,
Right.
what, you can't talk in this?
Steelscar's just thinking he just shrugs his shoulders
It's okay. We'll teach you tomorrow.
At this point, I'd say it's probably the effects of the Cellern are about to wear off or wearing off at this point. So
It was only an
You'd be
hour,
able to-
right?
yeah, you'd be able to speak
Yeah.
normally, and then Casimir,
my
you're
shoes
back to
back
normal.
on.
You put your shoes back on, and Levy, you can no longer climb walls
Oh, that's so sad. I need to take that spell.
And so ends my career of tap
unless you guys
dancing.
want more Cellern.
I'm good.
Not a bad
Nope.
idea.
All right. So it
One
sounds
more.
like you guys.
One more round of celery. Let's do it.
All right, man. You're buying.
I buy that round.
Who all's partaking in Celerin this time?
Might as well.
Curiosity will be the death of me.
When in Rome.
3,
Elamir, are you
4?
partaking?
No, I'm just gonna go to bed.
All right,
3
Elamir just heads to bed. You guys are all gonna get another. Let me look it up. Celerin. Oh, hold on. Let me go look in all my notebooks.
Oh, do we roll percentile die for this?
Yep, roll percentile die for me. Celerin is not cheap, I will say. So a little pricey as you're checking
loaded.
out.
That's fine.
He's
That's
loaded.
I'm very loaded.
Say it's about 2 gold a drink.
Gotcha.
6 gold.
Definitely pricey.
All
6
right.
gold. That's nothing.
All right. Toss it out. Everyone give me your percentile dice.
32.
I rolled
32.
50 exactly.
Here, hold on, let me get it.
I did 2
All
die.
right.
I did a percentile for the 10s and then a D10 for the 1s position.
Yeah, that's what I got as well. I got a 48.
All right, I'll send you all your effects.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
I'm excited to see what effect I get this time.
What did you get,
Again?
Steelscar?
50.
50?
Yep.
Have you had that one?
No, it was like when we were playing out with the Mad King.
Oh. I used the same table.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right.
Yeah, so you guys
What
just
do
see
I-
a duck
Oh.
appear, and
Oh my
it
gosh.
just quacks every so often.
No.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I think
What?
this is the exact.
Wait, what?
Wow,
Oh.
typo on that one. What'd you get, Casimir?
48. 48. Sorry, my voice is cutting out.
You good?
Interesting.
I think this is literally what happened with you guys last time.
Oh gosh.
Not yours. Yours is different.
Oh, that's a hilarious one to get. Oh my gosh.
I know.
And the effects typically last an hour for Celerin, so.
Yeah.
Okay, well, sitting at the table, staring at his book, Casimir's going to start blinking very hard and go, He's going to slowly put down his pen, close his book, and just sit there. He's going to push his drink away from him and just be like, okay.
So yeah, so Zero, Levy said you had a little duck appear next to you. Just
It's just quacking.
Oh, God.
Quack, 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 quack.
you are
Quack,
muted
quack.
right now, just so you know.
He's my buddy.
You're muted, Zero.
Oh.
Whack whack. And you as the duck is quacking, you Steel Scar, can you understand him as he's speaking?
What is
Quack,
it saying?
Bread. Mommy.
I guess I would look at it and be like, "Where's mommy, little guy?" Or,
Jet fuel
"Where's
can't
mother,
melt
little
Steve
guy?"
Fields. You just looked at Zero. At Levy. Like, mommy, bread, quack.
What do you want? I don't know what you want. Just tell me. What do you want?
They wouldn't understand me though. Whatever I'm saying. 'Cause
you can only speak to animals. But you could use the thing, but Steel Scar might not know that.
he doesn't know that.
All right, at this point, Elamir has gone to bed. As you guys are all sitting down
I
here.
look confused and I just head for bed.
All right.
Anyone want to roast a duck?
Oh, God. No, Casimir's like, okay, I'm too drunk to read. I'm too drunk to be awake.
the one part I didn't add is it is an ethereal duck or whatever.
Oh, an
So
ethereal
you
duck.
can't just murder it. Like you try and poke it, and your arm just goes like right through the duck.
Whoop.
Quack, quack, quack.
I'm gonna go to bed with the duck
All right.
quacking.
I'm
You
waiting.
gotta- What was that?
I'm waiting for the episode where I get lost in the ethereal planes and I end up in the duckverse.
With the duck.
And there's just a duck version of all of my party members.
Oh no!
So we're gonna be the Mighty Ducks.
The
There
Mighty
you go.
Ducks.
Steel Quack. And
Quackamere.
Quackamere.
Quacky.
Quacky. It'd be Quackamere and Quackamere. For
Literally.
Elamir.
Yep. And then Leviticus would be Quackiticus? I don't know.
Or just
Quackicus.
Quacky.
Just
Quacky.
Quacky.
I like Quacky.
There you go.
Quackamere, Quacky, and Steel Quack.
Or Quackscar.
Or Quackscar.
Oh my goodness! Here we go again.
Gosh.
begins
Yeah,
again.
so Casimir bed and tell his
Alright.
dog to teleport up to the room.
I forget, what are the sleeping arrangements? Who sleeps with who? Because whoever's sleeping with that duck's going to have a duck enter your room and quack for the next hour.
Normally
been me and
normally it's been Elamir.
Alright, so
Yeah,
Elamir is here.
Steel Scar and I.
Elamir's laying trying to go sleep. Suddenly, Levy comes in. You just hear quack, 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 quack.
I'm
And,
sorry.
For the next hour, as the duck just continues to quack, and eventually he just quack. He gets dusted like in Infinity War.
I don't feel so good.
He don't feel so quack.
Good lord. All right.
Quack-a-lackin'.
So you guys are resting for the night.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Give me 1 second to I gotta find my notes again. All right. Elamir,
Yes.
as you are sleeping or doing whatever it is that elves do, you suddenly have a dream.
Oh no.
You find yourself running through the woods, feeling free without restraint, free from the buildings and everything, able to just run through the woods on your own. You feel the sense of just freedom and just wild. As you charge through the woods, you hear animals and things moving about, things catch your sight, hear things. Eventually you spot a man in the woods. As you stare at him, your mouth begins to salivate. I want you to roll a I think it would be, we'll say wisdom. Roll a wisdom save. You're muted right now. So actually, here's a question for you.
Yes.
In your dream, are you just going to give in, or would you try and wake up?
If I, this is, I don't know how meta would be. I would think, with the knowledge I just learned, I would not want to give in.
Okay, go ahead and roll wisdom save.
Okay, 19 plus 2, 21.
Disadvantage because you are sleeping.
No.
I thought he doesn't
Okay,
sleep.
15. 15's not bad.
15. All right, as your mouth begins to salivate, you are able to wake up really quickly from whatever it is, your trance.
Does his gas wake me?
Probably not. I wouldn't think so.
I would wake you.
Okay.
I'm back.
He's waking you up.
Levy.
What? Huh? Oh,
I just had a dream that was very similar to the diary entry that you provided us. And
That's
I
fucking
don't
weird.
want to sleep anymore.
Here. I still need to sleep. I'm exhausted. Flumpy, you take over. Can you just watch him and make sure he doesn't, nightmare or anything?
Flumpy rubs his little eye.
Like, pin me down with the immovable rods.
Do you want him to pin you down with the immovable?
No, if I transform, then I'm gonna die.
Flat.
So you just want Flumpy to keep an eye on him?
Yeah.
Yes.
All
And
right,
how
so,
long was I sleeping?
Probably, just from a meta standpoint, probably about an hour is what you were asleep.
Okay.
So you don't need a ton more sleep.
Yeah.
All right. So
I just probably wouldn't sleep.
you're telling Flumpy to keep an eye on Elamir?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Read his thoughts and stuff.
All right.
Wake him up if anything gets
he's
bad.
He's definitely feeling scared right now, is what Flumpy's detecting.
And
frightened.
if anything gets really bad, Flumpy, please wake me. I like, please.
Takes his little aye, Captain.
My God, I am like the commander for all of them.
Master and commander.
Small army of creatures.
Okay. So, Elmer, you're trying to go back to sleep?
No, I would just call this a wash and not sleep.
Okay. If you're not going to rest, you will take 1 point of exhaustion then in the morning when you wake up.
Okay, I don't know how to do that, but I'll do it.
All right, well. All right, so you guys all rest. Elamir, you and Flumpy stay awake because you watch his one little eye occasionally, his little stalk start to droop.
Oh no!
Looks around.
That's so sad and cute.
You guys play cards together.
Does Flumpy win?
Probably.
You can roll. I
mean, he can read your thoughts, maybe. So
yeah, he can read. Yeah, you can't. You can just read the surface. He can't read everything. You just read the surface thoughts.
But even reading emotions means
get
he's
the
kick ass at poker and go fish.
I mean, if it's like surface thoughts of just like, oh yes, I have a king. All right, and 3.
You go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you guys awake. So 1 point of exhaustion, I think, is just going to be that you have disadvantage on ability checks. I think.
Yeah.
It saves.
Is it saves? I thought that might be later.
I thought it was just ability checks for the first one.
Yeah, I thought it was just ability checks.
I was just trying to see if there's anything in the UI for it.
There is. It's under conditions. If you click conditions, you can go down to exhaustion and click 1.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Boom.
What is it?
It doesn't say.
Level
I'm looking
1
right now.
is
Disadvantage on ability checks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Saving throw is level 3.
Level 6 is death.
Yes.
Oh god.
So
You
if
just
don't
die.
sleep for 6 days, you're just dead.
That would be horrible.
Yeah, I want to go see Caliphus.
Okay. So you guys wake up in the morning. Elamir looks like he got no rest. He is just, you see bags under his eyes. He's just...
Flumpy, baby, come here. Sleep inside. And put him inside my...
He snuggles up. He's all sleepy. Flumpy's getting a little bigger. He's getting bigger. As you guys have been mentioning, remember,
I have to hide him as like a pot belly now.
Baby. You what?
I might have to start hiding him as like a pot belly.
Or a hunchback.
Ooh, a hunchback would be good.
And then he can change size, and you can totally, young Frankenstein. Just screw with people.
It's true. Could do that. Could also act like you have stick his little eye up. Stalk.
Periscope.
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
that would freak people out so bad.
All right, you guys making your way down to the main tavern area in the
Yeah.
morning? Okay. All right. You guys make your way down to the tavern area. Get
right,
yourself some
Elamir.
food.
What the heck happened?
I'm not sure. I had a dream that I was chasing a man, and it sounded pretty similar to the diary that you gave us. And I don't know how this works, so I was afraid that I somehow would kill a dude.
Interesting. Well,
So
one
I
thing that
would
we're
order
noticing is
several coffees before I go.
it seems to only be elves that are having this, because I definitely didn't have anything. Casimir, Steelscar, you guys?
Nah, we
I
slept
slept
pretty-
fine.
I slept fine unless God says otherwise.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah, I just let him know that I slept perfectly fine. I had nothing. I was out like a rock.
Well, probably go talk to Calphus.
Yeah, I would agree with that one. I think that's very strange. I do know he's in a library, so maybe we could like search the library too to see if this has ever happened before.
I guess one positive note is I'm not aware of that I can wild shape.
Yeah, so it's probably
So it would
all
just
elves?
be like a feral looking elf running through the woods, worst case.
Unless like someone else is making you transform.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
Let's go.
you didn't actually move, I don't think.
Yeah. I did not. I woke up in the bed, so that's good.
Well, I wasn't able to watch. I was out like a light, so.
Yeah, and then after that, I lost some bets to Flumpy, so
Nice! Flumpy, raking it in.
I think he's cheating, but he's had a hard life, so I'll give it to him.
I mean, he has one eye. It's like, gotta give him some slack.
Oh gosh.
Anyway, yeah. I don't want to be a murderer, so maybe Calphus can help.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to make your way to Caliphus and speak with him?
Yep.
All right. You guys get your breakfast and make your way over to the chapel.
Yeah.
Yes,
Is it possible to
sir.
get like a full English breakfast here? Like, I need my beans. I need my eggs. I need.
You want
like,
that, or are you guys in a rush? So take a little bit.
I mean,
We're not in
you
a
gotta
riot.
start a day with a good breakfast, guys. Like, come on.
I can wait because I'll drink coffee.
Most important meal of the day.
Yeah, it's the most important meal of the day. You gotta kick
Get
it off
a
right.
nice breakfast. The Greenwood Edge Tavern. Nice English breakfast as you then make your way over to the chapel.
Yes, sir.
Where you
We spend a whole hour eating breakfast.
as Kasim or as Elamir sitting there freaking out.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys make your way over to
Cutting
the
off. I'm innocent.
Oh, hold on.
And yes, you make your way inside the chapel, where you met Caliphus before. I'd say it's kind of early in the morning at this point. You guys look around. You are eventually able to find him. Looks like he is finishing up his food here. It seems like this is kind of his makeshift, work area in the library here in the chapel.
DM, I have a question. Just
What is your question?
Out of curiosity, Casimir's thing, is he considered blinded?
Is he considered blinded?
Yeah, blind.
It's more like visually impaired because there's
Yeah.
a degree to which I can still visually see the world. It's like
Yeah.
all shadowed and everything. So someone like stepping in front of me, I'm gonna see them. I may not catch like the details of their face, the color of their skin, but I know someone just stepped right in front of me.
The best
even
way-
if it's like foggy.
I imagine it's always been kind of like when Frodo puts on the ring, how everything's kind of gray in shades of gray. That's kind of what he sees.
So, if someone like threw a flashbang in front of his face, would he still get blinded?
I wouldn't think so. No.
When I
'cause
asked you previously, you said I couldn't tell light levels.
he can't. Like he can see the sun, but it's like a very dim light in the sky. It's not like
Don't stare at it though.
I
No,
see the
it's
sun as
bad.
an object, not as a light source.
Yeah.
It's a big ball with tendrils. Oh god, the world's gonna look freaky.
Horrifying.
Yeah, it's like okay, if I see the sun as a physical object, that means it's a ball with like moving tendrils. Not
I had pictured the sun because it is so bright. You can. It does give. It is like a muffled light, but it does not illuminate things for you. If that makes
gotcha.
sense. So why were you asking if he's considered blinded?
No, because there's something that I wanted to try. I don't know if it'll work, but only because I have this and I wanted to see if it might work or not.
What is that thing that you're interested in?
I do have the spell that I can use once a day for lesser restoration.
I have that as well. I've been curious what would happen. Well, it's kind of like how I also have where is it? Features. I have Divine Sense, which is effectively redundant with what I'm able to do, and I'm curious if I were to use Divine Sense, what would happen to my vision?
I think Divine Sense gives you a little more clarity. I believe what we had said about your vision is you have about like 30 feet, I think, or something like that, and then you can kind of see things through walls. Like if you remember, you were able to see the Goristro through the walls, but only faintly.
Yes. Yeah, Divine Sense is anything affected by Hollow Spell or know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet.
Yeah,
That's not behind total cover. So
Thank
it
you.
actually it doesn't penetrate surfaces like my Hallette eyes do.
So I don't know.
What do your
skill set doesn't know.
eyes see?
I do think you cast Lesser Restoration on yourself when it happened.
No,
thought you-
I left it alone because I thought my first thought was, that might piss off the deity that just did this to me.
And if you want to cast it, I thought he had cast it on him.
I
No.
don't have any notes about doing such, so if I did, I forgot about it.
I know I tried to do like a cure wounds on him, but it did
So
not.
maybe that's what I was thinking of. Someone did something to try and fix it. I didn't remember what it was exactly. If you'd like to cast Lesser Restoration, you're welcome to.
I do try it. Well, I say, I look at Cass and do you mind if I try something on you real quick?
Sure.
And I put my hand on his shoulder and I do cast Lesser Restoration.
All right, you cast Lesser Restoration, and nothing seems to change for him.
Okay. I'll flinch despite like nothing happening. Just
As you the divine light spreads over your body, Caster, but yet nothing seems to change.
okay.
Any changes?
No, I don't think so.
All right. I was just trying to see if maybe your eyesight would get fixed, but I guess it didn't work.
No,
At least I tried.
Everything's shadows. You're still blue.
All right. I tried. I don't know. That's all I got.
We should get everyone's clothing hallowed at some point and see if we can get some like custom colors so I can more easily tell you all from enemies. Well, yeah, that way it can be like one is blue, one is green, one is I don't know, and that way if they're like in a crowd, I'm like, okay, friend, everything else bad.
I call green.
There you go.
Okay, so we need to get Elamir enchanted green, Steel Scar's already blue.
What does that mean? I have to wear something demonic so that y'all become red?
I don't know.
I actually think we specified everything was blue for you, regardless of what they were.
Mm-hmm.
But for funsies, maybe.
Yeah. See if he'll let me get some cosmetic coloring for allies.
That's DLC.
That's DLC. You gotta pay for that content.
Okay. Well, if she has an EA department, I'll toss a couple gold that way.
All right, so you guys make your way to the chapel, and you're in the chapel. You're in the library again. You can see Caliphus. Seems like he may have just woken up recently as he's sitting at a table. Seems like he's finishing his breakfast. You guys approach him.
He's eating breakfast too. Best meal of the day.
Yeah, we approach as a group, I guess. I look at the whole party.
Do you guys walk up? You say, good morning. How's your search going?
Fairly well. Is this a good time to talk?
He kind of like looks around. Doesn't seem like there's anyone around. He's like, yes, if you have something important to share, please.
We have a couple of things, and so we can probably just make it brief and just give him the overview of kind of like what we found with Nalfin and found out about like the dream journal that he was taking. Okay. And then point to Elamir, and he's like, Elamir also has
I didn't do it. Yeah. That dream in the journal, I also had it. I don't know what it means.
He's like, really? Huh. It's interesting. You've only been here in town for 2 days, maybe? I think.
Yeah.
That's odd. So it seems like you and Nalfin seem to be having this dream?
Yeah.
It sounds like other people in town are having it too, from what we heard between Nalfin and what's her name?
Ulathan.
Yeah.
Ulathan.
Yeah. Also, so as you guys tell him everything about, you telling him everything. You tell him about the.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically our person that wants us to look for stuff. So.
Okay. See, he's like, he just thinks for a moment. He's like, well. He just thinks. He's like, at this point, I feel like we might just need to talk to Nalfin and Ulathan. They, not saying that they are guilty of anything, but the thing, it's starting to look odd, and if I were to talk with them, it wouldn't be out of a sense of like you're guilty.
Yeah,
you know?
we don't want to accuse them because it doesn't seem like they're responsible. They're just having some kind of effect, like it's having some kind of effect on them. I'm more worried about the town and the people living here than anything else.
He's like, yes, then the sooner we can get to and maybe this is connected to the murders, maybe it's not. I'm not sure, but it's right now it's the best lead that we have, and I think it would be a good idea to talk to them. And
would we be able to be there with you guys when you talk?
he's like, I think that it would be best to speak with Garios and Coleman, the other leaders of the settlement here, to get them on board with speaking with Ulathan and Nalthan. And Ulathan is a leader here in town as well, so it has the potential to become messy.
Mm-hmm.
So I would want to get them on board with me as well. So he's like, I will, if you don't mind, I will arrange a meeting with them shortly here and allow you to share information that you found, and we can get their thoughts.
Do we want to be completely open and tell them everything?
He's like, at this point, I don't see any reason to hide anything. It seems that there's been 2 murders in town or nearby, and Nalfin has been acting strange lately, and you say that you have read his journal, and this is what was in his journal, and what Elamir here heard him and Ulathan discussing. It certainly... It looks suspicious enough that I think it's something that we need to investigate.
Sure.
Oh, they're sus, all right.
All right.
I don't say that out loud anyways.
Oh, he's like, well, then just please wait here. I will get Garios and Coleman, and we will discuss things here.
While we're waiting, can I peruse the library, just like looking for I don't know, myths, legends, or something like that might have like something to do with what we're dealing with right now?
Sure. Roll an investigation check, maybe.
Sure.
See if you can find anything that may.
Investigation. I rolled a 17 total.
17, okay. You go through specifically, you're looking for things that might do what exactly? Like a book
so
about...
just kind of like local myths and legends, I would say, of the area, or like just maybe elven myths and legends, or like maybe even curses.
Okay. So as you go through, this isn't a very extensive library. It's a small chapel. Yeah. Compared to some like the one in Esseram, where you get into is massive. This is a very small chapel for a little town. So it's not a huge collection of books. You find some things that look like they maybe could contain some information, but you don't have long before Caliphus comes back with Garios and Coleman. And if you remember, he's kind of a larger man. He's got big bushy beard and kind of like long hair. And Coleman is the elderly priest who you guys saw, who he calmed down the people.
Casimir, can we ask the amulet?
While they're doing all this stuff, getting everything ready, I talk to the group and I'm like, the only people here that really need to speak would be you, Levy, and Elamir, right? Since you're the ones that pretty much got all the information.
Yeah, I mean, unless you want to say something, you're welcome to.
I didn't find anything. No, I'm only asking because remember when the day we arrived and that whole commotion in this same place where words were exchanged and there was like the atmosphere was fierce. Well, I'm thinking if we're going to go through with this, more likely than not, something's going to break out. So maybe I'll step outside just to see what happens out there. If anything starts gathering, you never know what might happen.
Yeah, keep us in the know with like our communication rings.
How do I do that? I know I hear you guys, but how do I communicate to you?
I show him. It's like you just like push in this thing and then you just think.
I actually think Hector said all you gotta do is like twist it or something.
Yeah.
Oh, I think he told you that. You would have known that because I think he said
just like
I don't
twist it a
remember.
little bit and
Yeah, I think he said just twist it and then activates it and you can talk.
I would just say I wasn't paying attention to Hector at that time.
Okay.
I mean, understandable.
You were still he thought you and Casimir were married, so that
Exactly.
that was just kind of threw you off your game.
Levy, yes, we can totally ask the medallion. Just let me know what you wanted to ask it.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not quite sure of like how to phrase it. That's the biggest issue that I'm thinking of. Like some kind of like magic or something like that.
So sorry to cut. I just probably then just start stepping outside and
Yeah,
just.
so Steel Scar's going to step outside. Go ahead and roll perception check, Steel Scar, as you walk out.
All right. Oh, that one went to the garbage because it fell on the floor, and I don't want to reach for it. 5.
5. Yeah, you see, there's some people working, heading off to work. What you guys have noticed as you've been in town, and what you're seeing, is that it does seem like the people. Like, you see groups of elves traveling and groups of humans, and they don't seem to really be interacting. They seem to be staying separate. And there's a lot of tension in the air that you guys have felt. But you don't really notice much of anything while you're
Oh my
sitting
god,
outside.
this is like high school cliques.
So you would say that they're basically walking segregated from each other on purpose?
Yeah, but this is something you've noticed in town, and you're just kind of noticing it again. There's nothing
Out of the
nothing
ordinary.
else steps out. Yeah.
All right,
Sticks out to you.
perfect. So yeah, I won't say nothing back since everything looks normal. I'll just wait to see if anything rises up in the long run.
So yeah, so at this point, Gyarios, Coleman, and Caliphus come back in, and Caliphus is like, Gyarios and Coleman, I don't know if you remember these gentlemen from the other night, and he introduces you guys, Levy, Casimir, and Elamir. He's like, they've been assisting me, or I should say, they've been doing all the legwork here with this investigation, and they have some findings that they wanted to share with you. And Coleman's like, please, let us know what it is.
So, first of all, it's not necessarily like we have a suspect. We have noticed some very odd happenings and would like to discuss with you guys more about what's going on. And then I'd like to lead into basically of like how we found a journal and it was describing like the stream and about how it like was tying into the man, and then I'd probably toss it over to Elamir.
Okay.
And then tell them last night after following what we believe was Naltham into the woods, I pawned. Is Ulithan there? He said.
Yeah, it was Ulthan and Nalfin were in the woods together talking. You assume it's Nalfin. We're all assuming here it's Nalfin.
Yeah.
But
You've not
Ulithan
actually-
is in the room.
No.
Oh no, she's not in the room.
Oh, sorry. I thought she was one of the leaders. You were saying
she
Okay.
is, but he was
Not
there.
presently.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I would say I found Ulithan and what I assume to be Naltham in a clearing. They talked about, an urge and these dreams. Actually, they didn't talk about the dreams there, but how they couldn't look people in the eye, and that they, just kind of seemed shameful, and that they turned into wolves and ran away. When I returned back to the inn, I fell asleep and I woke up with a dream that was identical to the journal entry. I was able to wake up. I was afraid, I'm new here. I'm an elf just like them. I don't know if it's only affecting elves. I don't know how it's happening, what's coming to, people like me and Alpham, but if you can believe a complete stranger, maybe this isn't an intentional crime. Who knows? There might be something deeper going on that we just don't understand yet.
Okay. They just kind of sit and kind of take it in, and then Caliphus kind of steps in and is like, and with this information, we think it would be a good idea to talk to Nalfin and Ulithan. And we wanted to, since Ulithan is a leader here in town, we wanted to get you on board with this next step, because it has the potential to get messy, as I'm sure you can imagine. And Coolman is kind of an older man. He kind of like sits and is thinking, and Garrus is like, "Are you saying that you think that they're behind these murders?"
No. Do not think that they're behind these murders yet. I think there is something going on, and something strange is happening to them. And we're not quite sure. We have no direct evidence pointing that they are murderers.
Garrus is like, "Yeah, I definitely think it's information that bears questioning, but I just can't see Ulithin doing anything to harm another person. That just does not seem like her."
Even
Coolman,
more reason why it's concerning, because it's not of character of anyone you know to do these things that might be happening.
Okay. And Coleman, again, an elderly gentleman, is like, "I think it would be a good idea to speak with them. Things are getting a little tense here in town, and I think not following up on this has the potential to make things worse." And Garrios kind of like nods, but seems hesitant about it. But like, I agree. I'm just I'm a little hesitant about it, but
Is there a way to discuss it discreetly with Ulithin?
they're like, "Well," Caliphus is like, "Well, we can." Here's the problem. Let's just say they both are guilty. I'm not saying they are, but let's just say they are. If one of them finds out that we're speaking with the other one, the other may flee. And if we want to speak with both of them, we probably need to get both of them at the same time. And again, I am not saying I think they're guilty, but if we have the potential here for something going on, I would hate for one of them to run away.
I can understand that. So then would we want to call both of them at the same time, but separately?
He's like, "We can get the guard and bring them here. Won't be arrested or anything, but just to bring them for questioning."
Okay.
And we can do our best to make it discreet.
Yeah, I just don't want anything to happen in town where it's just going to be, calling them and, giving people the wrong idea.
He's like, "I agree." This Caliphus, he's like, we don't want to ruin anyone's reputations, and again, things are tense here in town, and certainly don't want anything appearing as one way and, it's not actually the case. So, we will do our best to have them brought in discreetly.
All right. Should we wait here then until that time?
He's like, "Yes, it will." I would imagine that I don't know Nalfin's current status, but I would imagine that Ulithin is probably out in the field working, so we will send someone to bring her in. And then we'll send someone to Nalfin's house. I'm assuming he's still at his house. I do not know where he is. It's like, we'll bring them into the chapel, and I think it would probably be best to maybe speak with them separately. Bring them both in, but speak with them separately. Just so we can get both sides of the story.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's like, "Does that sound reasonable to you?" He looks at Garrios and Coleman, and they're like, "I think that would be a good idea." Okay. So you guys are all in agreement?
Yep.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So
not like our opinion matters too much, since they're the elders of this town, so it's like...
Yeah. All right, so he tells you guys to wait around. It may take 10 minutes, may take an hour. Not sure how long it will take to get them. So you guys just wait around. Is there anything you want to do while you're waiting, or?
Just wait. Oh, then.
We could try and think about asking ask the amulet.
Yeah,
How to word the question.
that's the big question.
How do I ask what I don't know?
I do think the legend lore spell specifies you have to ask about a thing. Is
Yeah.
the problem with it,
Yeah.
or a place? Like, it usually has to be. You have to ask about a noun, basically. So yeah, if you guys aren't certain, then we can move on.
Yeah, I'm not certain.
Okay.
Yeah, if I think of it, I'll speak up.
I'm cold down here. Gotta warm myself up. Don't want to turn my heater on because it'd be squeaking in the background. Squeak.
You need a blanket or a hoodie.
Squeak. I know. I need to wear a jacket next time.
You send me something cold.
Name or describe a person, place, or object is its premise.
Yeah.
So yeah, if we can think of a way of naming or describing a person, place, or object that we wish,
Yeah.
we can see what the amulet of Hullet tells us.
This amulet's useless.
I don't know. I love it.
All right. Well, you guys make your way up to the chapel, like the main chapel area, and eventually you see Ulthen is brought in, not in handcuffs or anything. She's just brought into the chapel and kind of they have her sit down in the back of the chapel and they wait, and eventually Nalfin is brought in as well, although Nalfin is taken to another room, so it's just Ulthen in the main chapel area, and it's been cleared out. There's no one else. It's just you guys, Caliphus, Coleman, and Gyrios.
From the outside, I would have seen them coming.
Oh, you still
in,
outside?
Right? Yeah, I've been outside this whole time.
Yeah, you see like Ulthen get brought in and Nalfin. Yeah.
Would you tell us?
I would let them know that they were on their way in.
Okay.
Wait. Would I know what they look like, first of all?
You've seen Ulthen. You don't know what Nalfin looks like, actually.
Okay, but I would let them know that Ulthen was coming in at least.
Yeah. Okay.
With some other person.
So at this point, they kind of gather around Nalfin, or I'm sorry, Ulthen, and Caliphus is like, he begins speaking. He's like, Ulthen, it's been brought to our attention that you may be heading out into the woods at night with Nalfin. And as you can imagine, this would look a little suspicious with all the things that are going on. So we just wanted to talk with you to get an understanding of just everything that's going on. And as he says it, you can see she's already kind of a little worried about things that are going on, and she kind of like seemed really hesitant. It's like, yes, Nalfin came to me a few nights ago, or a few days ago, and was telling me that he was struggling with wild urges. And this is something that can happen to people who can wild shape. Sometimes the call of the wild or the beast inside can become overpowering, and it can be difficult for someone to maintain control of those urges. She's like, so yes, we have been heading into the woods, and I have been trying to help him maintain control and control these urges. And she's like, I am aware of how this looks.
What about for someone that can't wild shape?
I would just kind of wave.
And she's like, what do you mean?
I'd say, well, apologies in advance, but we're trying to help the town here. And so I followed you to the woods last night, and I saw you guys, go for your run. I left, and when I went to sleep, I had a dream that was identical to the ones that it sounds like were plaguing your friend there.
She's like, and how do you know that he is having dreams?
That's classified. No.
At this point, she looks to like Caliphus and Gyrios, and she's like, "Have you been spying on us?"
We have.
She's not.
Not them.
She's not talking to you.
They haven't.
Nobody asked us to employ these methods.
Spying on us. And she looks to the other leaders, and she's like, "You're allowing this? You're allowing these people to be spying on people?" We have enough trouble as it is trusting people in our own town. Now we have outsiders breaking into people's houses, apparently.
This is why we didn't want to make it loud. We wanted to be quiet about this and not accuse anyone because we don't think anyone has actually done anything. We want to make this not a thing. So this is why we're bringing this to the attention so that we can talk about this, figure out what's going on together, and move forward and move on from whatever's plaguing this town right now.
She just kind of seems to be slightly ignoring you guys as she looks to Gyarios and Coolman, and she's like, "You were letting these outsiders come in and put me on trial?" And Gyarios is like, "Ulathan, please, you must understand that this looks a little suspicious, and we just want to get to the bottom of it." And Coleman is like, he's like, "Ulathan, the tensions are very high. We do not want another death. We must follow up on whatever it is that we have found. And it seems that some of that information may have been found in a less than savory manner, but it still has been uncovered."
And I would butt in, tell her, I'm in this too. I'm from the Greenwood. Obviously, I care about this place. If I've had these dreams, then, I don't want to be, causing harm to elven people or the Greenwood. If your friend is a risk, then, who's to say I'm not? We need to figure this out.
And Calivus speaks up. He's like, "Ulathan, you must understand. There is a lot at stake here. It's not just another person's life, potentially. It's the deals here between the kingdoms of men and the Greenwood. I mean, Greywood is it is one of the places that if any issues were to arise between the races of elves and men, this would be one of those spots, and we need to ensure that things remain calm and that things are uncovered if there's a problem." And you can see she's kind of defensive. You see she's frustrated, and she's like, "Well, if he's having dreams, and yes, there have been other elves who've come to me and told me that they've had these dreams." And she's like, "But that's about all that I know." And she's like, "To be honest, I don't really know how much I want to talk about this."
Well, I mean, one thing is if it's affecting people who can't wild shape, then it's not just the typical urges, that you talked to us about that are, common. I don't know if somebody's implanting these in it. As far as I can tell, it's only been elves. So, I don't know. The Green Singers, they're just growing trees, right? Or do they also help with enchanting the forest as you go deeper?
The enchantment over the forest is like an existing thing. It's not something people are actively doing.
Right.
It just exists.
Okay, that's what I thought.
The Green Singer's jobs is to grow the trees, pretty much.
Okay. I will not say that then. That was Cody.
What is it you do here? Okay.
Yeah,
I swear.
completely unrelated. Are you hiring? I have a lovely singing voice.
Calipus is like, "Well, Ulathan, if there's not much else that you're willing to discuss, then I let us speak with Nalfa and see what information he wants to share." And she just kind of stands up and is like, "I'm fine."
Before you go, I have just one question. When did people start coming to you about these dreams? How long ago?
Make a persuasion check. I'm going to say with disadvantage.
2 18s, so that is a 29.
She's like, Probably about a few nights ago.
Is that before or after the first murder?
The first murder, took place, like, I think I said 2 weeks ago.
Got it.
I think.
So they came to her a couple of nights ago, so...
Yeah.
It's relatively recent.
Yeah. So, all right. So then they have the guards escort Ulithin back, and they bring Nalfin up, and Nalfin just seems to be a nervous wreck. You can see he's like kind of stressed and kind of sweating, and seems to be shaking, and it's just a mess overall. And Caliphus is like, Nalfin, it is in fact the elf you saw in the woods. Caliphus is like, Nalfin, we wanted to discuss with you. It's been brought to our attention that you have been meeting with Ulithin in the woods to, according to her, help with some wild urges or something like that, or a dream that you've been having. Could you please give us some information about what's been going on? He just seems like a nervous wreck, and he's like just shaking. He's like, "Oh gosh, oh no, oh." And Caliphus is eventually like, let me get you a glass of water. As he watches, Caliphus just kind of turns around, and walks away to go get him a drink of water. And you wanted to ask him anything during this, or just wait?
I'd want to console him a bit. Just be like, hey man, look, no one's here to accuse you of anything. No one thinks you have done anything wrong. They just want to talk to you to figure out what your thoughts are and try and learn more about the situation. If you are honest with them and you open up to them, there'll be nothing wrong with you.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage again, just because of the circumstances.
That is a 13 plus 11, so 24.
Okay. He's like, okay. Thank you. Eventually Caliphus comes back, brings him his water, and sees like Nalfin just takes a big, just drinks it. Like, he's super nervous. He's like, okay. He's like, I've been having dreams, where I'm running through the woods, and I see a person, and I just have this sense to attack them. And at first it was just dreams, but then I was having trouble concentrating at work. My coworkers were beginning to frustrate me and annoy me, and I just couldn't take it. I just felt on edge at all times, and I don't know if it was a lack of sleep or what, but I talked to Ulithin about it and asked for her help, and she's been trying to help me contain these urges that sometimes people can get when they can wild shape. So we've been sneaking into the woods and practicing. She's been helping me to control that.
When did your dreams start happening?
He's like, I think about a week ago, maybe. I don't remember exactly at this point. As you guys are talking with him, eventually you hear a commotion outside. So you guys are in if you picture a church, you're kind of in the sanctuary thing. There's doors at the end of it, and you hear a commotion outside. At this point, too, I'd say it's probably about midday. At this point, no, I'd say it's closer to 10 or 11 o'clock at this point.
If there's commotions out there,
are you still outside?
I stayed outside.
Okay, yeah. All right, so you watch as you see this large group of humans come toward the chapel, and make a perception check.
All right.
Check for pitchforks.
16.
16. They don't appear happy. They seem to be a bit riled up. You see, you can hear some people talking like, "Let's go get them! Come on!" As they start making their way toward the chapel.
I let the fellas inside know what's going on outside.
Okay.
We have company.
Okay. And Gyarios is like, "What do you mean?"
one of our compatriots outside just contacted me. He said there's an angry group coming this way.
Really?
Is there a back exit that we might be able to go through?
And he's like, let me go speak with them. It's Gyarios, and Coleman make their way outside. What are you guys doing? So right now in the chapel is like 2 guards, Caliphus, Nalfin, and then...
I do go, like, as they're coming in, I do start making my way inside ahead of them.
Okay. So you're not inside, so you're making your way inside. Okay.
Yeah, like, as they're approaching, I do try to get in there before they do.
Okay. All right.
Should we leave? We probably don't want to make anything else harder for you.
Who are you talking to?
Caliphus.
He's like, he just kind of seems lost. He's like, let's see what they're here for. I don't suspect it's anything good, but I don't want anything we do to look suspicious. If we run away, that's not going to look good. And we don't even know if they know who we have in here. It's
exactly.
Anonymity for them. It's the best thing. So what do you guys want to do? You want to? So at this point, Steel Scar's made his way in. Coolman and Gyarios have stepped outside. That you can see that there's a large group of people, probably about like 20 people, have gathered. They're kind of like shouting. You can hear a lot of commotion and ruckus outside.
I'd probably want to go wait by the door for where like they are, just to see, make sure that like nothing bad happens to Gyarios or anything.
Okay. What's everyone else doing?
I would just try to stay by Nalfim.
Okay.
And like try to reassure him.
Okay. What are you doing, Casimir?
Looking for a specific spell that I'm hoping I have prepared, but I don't think I do. Son of a biscuit. I thought I had it prepared. It was something like hero or something. Buggers.
Heroism?
Yeah, I think that's it. No, yeah, I don't have it prepared. So I'm not actually quite sure what I'm doing at the moment.
You're sitting there looking, you're thinking through your spells. You're like, oh, what do I have?
Yeah.
What do I have ready? Okay, so you guys, so you hear the group outside. They start shouting. They're like, bring them out to us. They need to be held accountable for the murders that they've committed.
I would be inside. Did they step inside or are they all outside?
So here's how you picture. Okay, so you got the church. Picture there's like some steps that lead up to the door. Gyarios and Coolman are standing outside on the steps. The group is kind of on the ground. Sounds like Levy. Are you standing outside? You standing?
No. I'm inside, but like the door's closed, so like I'm on the inside of the door so that they can't see me. So if something starts happening, I'll be able to like either move in and like warn the rest of the group, or like move out and like help.
Okay.
And that's the day that Levy fireballs a group of heads.
I mean, sometimes you just gotta toss a fireball on a group of people. Disperses a crowd real quick.
So you hear the people start shouting, and Gyarios is attempting to calm down. He's like, please, we must remain calm. And the people are like, no, we've been calm for long enough. These knife ears need to face the justice for what they've done. And you hear the people in the back like, yeah. And they're all shouting as they are attempting to calm the people down as they're just shouting. And at this point, Caliphus kind of moves toward the window. He's kind of like looking out at the group of people. Are you looking out the window, Levy, or are you just standing at the door?
I'm standing at the door. I don't think I can quite see unless there's like windows out facing outwards, like from the inside of the chapel to.
So at this point, I'd say Caliphus is actually going to open the door, and he's not going to step out, but he's opening the door just to kind of get a better view of what exactly is going on. But he's opening in such a way that like you can't see now, right? Like he's not opening it all the way up. Like he's kind of opening it slightly and kind of peering out. If that makes sense.
So as soon as I step inside, would you say I can see my friends now? Or...
Yeah, you can see the party. Yeah.
And well, while I see them, we also hear all the commotion outside, right?
Yeah, you're hearing people shouting and stuff.
And I want to approach Levy, and I want to dig into like whatever little pocket I have, and I'm like, it's getting really bad out there, and I don't know if they're gonna be able to control them. Levy, I know you have a great way with words, and I pull out that little medallion that I have from the military, and I'm like, if I let you borrow this, could you make something of that situation?
Ooh.
Act like you're some kind of, I don't know. You have a way with words.
Yes. All right. I'm not sure if this is the best decision, though. It might just ignite the situation even more.
Well, what do you suggest we do then? Because there's fights.
Yes, you hear
there's a fight.
Gyarios and Coleman are attempting their best to calm these people down. You got only a few minutes to decide exactly what you want.
I'm like, just know that there's a fight that's about to break. And
hey guys, I have a terrible idea.
I have a terrible idea as well.
I could use Find Steed to summon a demonic Blink Dog and point at that and say, "That's the bastard that's caused the problems."
I can turn you into a T-Rex.
Or that. but I don't want to die.
Well, I mean, we have options, but we should really try to de-escalate this because, as I said, they are very rowdy, especially on their way over here. So something's got to happen, and I know I can't convince.
And as you guys are sitting there talking, you hear Caliphus go, "Things are about to get worse." As he's like, and he kind of steps out now at this point, and or he's not. The door is still slightly open, but he's kind of like he seems to see something that you guys can't quite see yet. As you hear the commotion growing, and you hear the shouting even getting louder, and you hear him say, "It looks like there's a group of elves here."
Oh no.
And you just hear outside, you hear people shouting back and forth at each other. What are you guys doing right now?
I look at Levy.
I think it's past words at this point, man.
I'm still holding the medallion. I'm like, we got decisions to make, or if you don't want to get involved any further, we gotta get out of here. That's our only options.
This is a group decision. What does everyone want to do? I'm fine if we want to leave, if we want to let this just play out and let the leaders take over, protect as many people as we can. Or if we want to intervene and try and stop this.
There's going to be bloodshed. Don't. I can feel that. Like, from the energy that I felt from them, I could kind of tell like they were here for like blood, right?
Yeah, so because I couldn't really expose as you guys were talking. I don't even know if exposate's a word, but couldn't really give exposition. So basically, the crowd, as they approached, they seemed to be pretty just furious, is the kind of sense you got. It seemed that Gyarios and Coleman were able to kind of calm them down and kind of calm things a bit. But as you're assuming this other group of elves the group of elves begins to approach, things just escalate. And you can hear people start shouting, and you hear an elf, outside, and is like, he's like, "We want to be treated the same." He's like, "There's too much hatred in this town." And the humans are like, "Shut up, knife use! You people are behind this." So I need to know right now what you guys are doing. So Elamir, are you still sitting next to Nelfin? Nelfin just looks to be like freaking out at this point. He's stressed. He's sweating. He's.
If I ran to like a window, where like are the crowds positioned? Are they like right up on each other?
They are. So if you picture like the humans were kind of like in the front, the elves are kind of off to the right, but the two groups seem to be staring at each other, like staring down. And Gyarios and Coleman are attempting to calm people down outside. So Casimir, I want to know right now what everyone's doing. Casimir, what are you doing?
I will cast Aid on myself and Steel Scar and Elamir. So that'll give each of us 5 bonus temp hit points.
Okay.
All right. Like I said, I am presenting my medallion, my little medal to Levy.
What was this medal for?
It's just a military medal that they give everybody in the military. It's just like to show that you're part of like the illa military.
I'm just terrified of going out there because I don't want to be seen. I'm still kind of not supposed to, be making these huge moves. I can do it if this is what you want. I can do this.
If I let you borrow my hat and you transform yourself, would that work?
Takes an hour or two.
I would have to attune to it. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. It is a tune required. Couldn't you change your form?
Oh wait.
Like you normally do?
1 sec. I need to. Ha! My Ring of Spell Storing still has one Disguise Self in it. I'm gonna cast Disguise Self from my Ring of Spell Storing, and disguise myself, make myself look like a older gentleman, with that grizzled gray hair everywhere, really strong jawline.
Okay, Elamir, what are you doing at this point?
I'm gonna cast Fog Cloud in between the two crowds.
So you guys are all stepping outside at this point?
Yeah, and then I'm gonna grab the metal and step outside.
Okay.
And
I'll
then
use guidance on him.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast Fireball in the middle of the two crowds up
Oh
in the air.
no! Don't do
I want to
that.
hit no one. I want to hit no one.
Oh,
I want to
up in the
scare
air
the
like a
crap
firework.
out of them.
Oh,
I cast Fireball on the group of you.
I'm not gonna just mass murder everyone, okay?
So
you're
what
gonna cast it away from them?
Well,
Is
he
that
already,
what you're
cast,
saying?
he already cast Fog Cloud. Are you also trying to cast Fireball?
Well,
Into the
he's just trying to disperse them. I'm trying to terrify them to get them out of there and make them pay attention to something else other than each other.
Okay. All right, so I want to make sure I understand. So you're all stepping outside. Elamir has cast Fog Cloud in between the groups or among them?
In between the two.
Okay. And then Levy, looking like an old man, is casting Fireball between the two but not hurting anybody.
Yeah, I'm thinking kind of up in the air, kind of like this giant sphere of fire just explodes, and then I want to use prestidigitation to make my voice just echo, and just be like, enough, stop this.
And what do you say?
Can I use my thaumaturgy to make his voice boom?
So,
the explosion in the sky, the two crowds are all like, they all stop as Levy steps out.
Neither side is at fault here. You need to stop fighting amongst yourselves. Don't you see this is what's the problem? I come here from the capital, and this is what I find in your town? You can't even get along together. Go back to your homes.
Go ahead and make a deception or persuasion. That is the question. I'd say deception because you're trying to deceive them because you're an old man. No.
we just said
do
then it's just
persuasion. It's persuasion because you are actually telling them to go home. You're not trying to lie to them.
Yep.
Could I use thaumaturgy to cause whispers of "he's right" and "what have we done" and "what the hell's wrong with us" to be chitter through the crowd?
Sure.
Yo, you're letting
You can,
us use our
hiding in the
stuff,
background.
right?
I rolled a 28.
And I feel shame.
My persuasion is
Okay.
really good, so.
Okay, so, and they're like, so you hear kind of what looks like the leader of the human group is like, but they've been murdering our people.
Do you
How
have
can we
proof?
trust them?
Where is your proof? Bring evidence.
It's like they've been murdered in the woods.
Then get evidence.
He's like, how can we trust them though? And one of the elves.
How can
speaks
they
up.
trust you? What have you done? How do they know that you aren't the ones that are murdering them? That you're not making them look like the bad guys? Step in someone else's shoes for a day and then take a look.
You see people. Some of them seem to have been carrying rocks. On both sides, they kind of drop the rocks. As they all kind of seem to fine in agreement as the crowds kind of start to disperse for a moment when suddenly you hear a loud crashing sound as glass shatters and you hear some people shouting from inside, "Ah!"
What shattered?
You're not sure.
I might have to go
Oh, we
in.
hear shouting from inside.
You hear shouting from inside and you hear shattering sounds
Inside
coming
the chapel?
inside the chapel or on the side of the chapel. Yeah.
Can you guys go check that out?
I would bellow out, "Save the priests!"
I would immediately run in myself.
Yeah.
Okay,
to see what's going
run
on.
inside.
I-
You see.
I ready my weapon as I run in.
You see, there's windows in the chapel. You see, large window has been shattered. You see the two guards laying on the ground bleeding, and you see that Nalfin is no longer in the chapel.
I step outside and I
At this
look to-
point, I think it's a great time to wrap up this session.
Dang!
Okay.
we were just
I will
Scott,
say,
we were just getting
before we
started.
disappear and I forget, I will immediately be using locate object to find Nalfin.
Can you use it to find people? or
Hey,
just
you
objects?
can't objectify people like that.
No,
I don't
that's
know
locate
if-
creature or
yes.
locate person.
Oh,
Yeah,
is there a separate spell for that?
Yeah, there's a separate called locate
person,
creature.
locate object.
Ah, damn. Okay. Bummer.
I
it's a
am an
locate
expert
creature.
tracker, by the way.
He is.
Good.
There you go.
Wait, wouldn't Levi still have his owl like outside?
I mean, the owl's
He's
probably
gonna specify
perching,
where
but
Oliver
he's
is.
not.
But
actively
so
watching.
basically, let me give you. So you guys hear the shattering. The crowds, the two groups that at one point seemed to have calmed down, they see this happen and they hear the shouting, and suddenly they just charge each other. As it just seems like a giant fight is about to break out between these two groups. As they start charging, you see rocks getting thrown at people. It just turns to utter chaos. The steel square,
Oh,
you step
no.
inside, you see the window shattered, you see the guards laying on the ground bleeding and agony, like, oh! And so that is where we're going to wrap up the session.
Can I say, I don't want them to die. I pump one healing into each of them.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
Stabilize them.
You're stabilizing so they don't die. All right.
Yeah.
I think that is a good spot to wrap up the session for tonight.
Dude, we were just
I
getting
regret
started.
my spells so much. I was like randomly picking spells. I'm like, okay, can't really pick. Don't really know what's gonna happen. This. Dislike all of my spell selections for this long rest. I'm like, shit. Wish I had Thunderous Smite. I'd smash the ground and Thunder Blast just to like interrupt everything.
We came up
All
with a good
these
plan,
spells.
though.
Too bad you can't just like command every single one of them.
Yeah, I've got 5. How many of those could I?
Make sure you
bust
mark
out?
off your spell slots that you did use here because it was kind of.
Yeah, I was tapping the buttons.
Yeah. Okay.
1, 2,
Alright, well,
3,
cool.
4, 5,
We'll
6.
wrap
I could
that
get
up.
like 8 castings of command off. That's it.
There you go. Thank you,
job,
everyone, for
everybody.
joining us for our session tonight. It was fun. We'll be back 2 weeks, I believe. We should be good for 2 weeks. We'll see. But for our 50th episode, seems to be
Wow.
like it's going to be a banger.
Oh, let's go!
Ah,
It's gonna be a good one, dude. You literally just left us at a good cliffhanger. We were
do I kill
ready.
everyone with fireball? Find out
I
next
mean, it's
time.
not a cliffhanger. We're just leaving, right?
Yeah, that's it. We're never going to have another session. So.
We
it.
caused,
Oh, just
we
leave it on
caused
the
the Civil
cliffhanger.
War, and we're simply just going home.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Have a good night.
Good night,
Good night,
everybody.
everyone.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Adventure with Advantage podcast. We can't thank you enough for your support. Be sure to follow us on Twitter for updates on episode releases at our Twitter handle at AWA_D&D or catch us live on our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/AWA_D&D. Thanks.